There is just one way that is easier than any other way to quickly fill your calendar with sales calls. We are going to go into a part of the business, a part of your marketing and sales that I believe a lot of coaches are actually trying to avoid, and it's costing them money.
Every day. DMs are a bridge between a few of the key principles to be able to sell anything at any time.
Yeah.
So in the coaching industry and with social media and with the usage of today's technology, DM is the least dramatic way to build the most important thing there is, which is relationships.
Absolutely. But I think the problem in DMs today is that most people suck at it. We literally had a call with some new clients and I had a sales call with them. And the only thing they said to me is say, do I need to do any outbound DMing? Yeah. And I said, no, we do not need to do outbound DMing. And I believe most coaches are literally fearing this. And these are coaches who are doing good. Yeah. They're already doing like 7K a month and they want to scale. And the only thing they don't want to do is outbound DMing.
Yeah, and I think it's important to talk about what is this episode not going to be about.
Yeah.
It's not going to be about outbound DM, cold DMs, reaching out to people based on zero evidence that they want to connect with you.
We've spoken to so many coaches now, thousands of coaches, and every time you ask them, hey, how many of you like to have those people, the experience of having someone pitching to you the first time they talk to you in the DM is repelling.
It's absolutely repelling. And we can benchmark it towards something else that people knows, and it's cold calling. There are businesses who are putting a lot of effort into cold calling. It's so weird. Because
if they love it, like, go ahead.
Sure, but getting the cold call doesn't love it. So if you have a thing with, okay, I'm going to do cold calling and I'm going to make the person on the other side love that I called, well, then that's a challenge and you're coming from a good perspective. But what I wanted to say is that it doesn't work as effectively as the alternative, which is warm connections, which is inbound, which is talking to people who've already shown interest in what you do and who you are and already understand that you exist.
Yeah.
Because it boils down to a core principle. If you take any marketing course, you should learn that marketing is all about building know, like, and trust. The first step is to have them to know who you are and in the right way, meaning that you're not reaching out with an outbound DM and saying, hey, this is who I am, want to buy my stuff, because not nice.
No, it's going to take too long time to repair that relationship. You just broken it completely, all the trust.
Yes. And the alternative is the opposite.
Yeah.
When you're doing inbound, when you're reaching out, not coming from a perspective of what you have available to sell, but coming from a perspective of, is there anything that I can do to serve you?
Yeah. So warm inbound chatting or warm inbound DMing is the absolutely most important skill if you want to get leads, clients, sales calls within the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
Why is inbound DMing such a good thing? Why is it so good?
Because there are only so many ways that you can talk to people and you need to choose one of them. Because know, like, and trust, again, they need to know who you are, they need to like you, and they need to trust you before they buy your stuff. And the first step is for them to know who you are. And it's not know of your existence, but really knowing who you are in your business. And the only way to do that is by talking to people. And if we're saying talking to people, there are only so many ways that you can do that. So you could call them, not a great idea, it's too invasive.
And they're not responding. The phone, like many people are not responding if they don't know who you are.
I don't answer the phone if a phone number is calling me that I don't have saved.
And if they have a feeling that, oh, you want to sell, they become defensive immediately.
Yes. Emails is another option, but then you need to have their email. You can't get that information very easily. Emails are great.
And it's slower. The opening rate on an email is an average, maybe 24%, and the click-through rate might be 1 to 2%.
Yes.
It's slow.
So we've talked about phone calls, we've talked about emails, you could send them SMSs. Well, SMSs, it does work to some degree, but again, you need their phone number. The second thing is that it's still too invasive. It's private. Social media, on the other hand, is create as a media.
It's a social media.
It's a media.
It's about
to be
being
social. About. And it's non-dramatic.
Yeah.
If you send the right kind of DM, it's not invasive. It's inviting. And based on that, you can build relationships. So here's the bottom line. You need to do something.
Yeah.
And out of the options, DMs is the only one that stands out as non-invasive, non-dramatic, and actually the only natural way to invite a conversation to happen on their terms.
Yes.
So why DMs? Because it's literally the best way to do it.
100%. I love DMs, and I believe a lot of coaches do not feel the same way. What are the things that coaches believe about DMing that is myth?
First of all, the biggest one I believe is that I need to behave in a way that goes against my core being, like who I believe that I am, my identity, my values.
Yeah.
You never need to.
No.
Like you never need to. So like that's the biggest myth.
And now we believe that everyone who's listening here is actually caring about the people they want to help. They actually care for their clients.
Yeah.
And we also believe that everyone who's listening here are good persons, good human being, decent human being who are well behaved. It's about being indecent. And I think people have a lot of limiting beliefs like, oh, but people don't like it. How do you know? Have you asked them? It's about how you do it. So there's two different ways. So let's say you were going to meet a partner. You go out onto a discotheque. That's how I did my young days. It's been many years since I did that. So you go to a bar and you want to find a partner. That's why you're there. You can go to someone and you can go straight to them and tell them, hey, I want you to come home with me. Are you ready to go? That's one way. Or you can go and you can say, hey, it's okay, I sit here. Can we have a chat? Hey, what are you drinking? And you start having a conversation and you discover during that conversation, hey, I like you and you're funny. Let's go and get a dance. And we move on. We go home or we go somewhere else. So there's two different ways of doing it. Go below. We will put up the complete DM guide. So go and get that. There's two main mistakes coaches are doing in the DMs. First one, becoming friends.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So I want to talk about it from a different perspective because you want to maintain two different things. You want to maintain a high level relationship while maintaining authority.
Yeah.
So they need to perceive you as the expert in your field.
Yeah.
The moment you become friends, they're seeing you an equal. So you become equals in their eyes, which means that they have a harder time seeing how great you are in your chosen field of coaching.
Yeah.
So when we are becoming friends, they are going to lighten up and you're going to have a nice conversation, but it's not going to be about the coaching. It's going to be about, hey, I'm getting a friend over here.
So the second mistake people are doing is the opposite. They're so focused on, why am I here? I want to sell. I want to get sales calls. And they go straight in, hey, and then they start pitching and doing offers from the beginning. What happens when that happens?
Again, from a different perspective. People love buying stuff, but people doesn't like being sold to.
Yeah.
If you do that, it feels like you are convincing them that it's a good idea to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
Which is borderline manipulation. So we don't want to do that. We want to help them to realize that, build curiosity and help them discover that there is something that they are already interested in.
It's not about you. You can't go into a DM focusing on what you want. You need to put your own needs and wants aside and focus on that person who you're talking to.
Yeah.
So drop that and be about, hey, what's in it for this person? Now, I would say there's a third mistake, but the third mistake is causing this mistake number 1 and 2. The third mistake, don't ever start DMing without having a plan, without knowing where to take people or where to go. Because if you don't, you're just everywhere.
Yeah, have a structure.
You need to have a structure. So let's go through the structure and you can download everything down below so where you can go in much deeper. Let's go into the structure. So when we're DMing, let's say these are people you're meeting the first time they call. You don't ask people on a date the first time you speak to them. It's way too early, and translate it into coaching and selling. Don't give them an offer.
You don't open with that.
No. So there's a clear rule. DM is kind of being like a lawyer. Don't offer them a call until you know they will absolutely say yes. That's when you can offer a call, not a second before. So how do you get them to the place where they want a call? That is where you get the steps. The step number 1, you need to connect. That's about establishing rapport. Establishing rapport in DMing is showing interest in them.
Yeah.
Comment something they've been doing. Comment on their content. Give them a compliment. We start DMs because we work inbound with DMs. So we start normally DMs on people sending us friend requests, people commenting, liking, answering, doing anything to our content, opening up that one.
The most effective conversation starter that I think have made 90% of our clients started with us saying thank you.
Yeah.
Either thank you for connecting, or either thank you for commenting on this piece of content.
And since you're a good person, we believe that it's easy to say thank you and mean it. So say thank you first. So we start with a connection. We go slowly forward. Small text instead of one long text where you're trying to cover everything in one text.
Only
it's
one.
having a conversation.
Never ask two questions in the same message. Always
It's
just
like,
one. Some of the conversations that you're going to have, it needs 3 months.
Yeah.
And some need 6 months.
And it's normal. It's perfectly normal.
And if you're consistent with the service of, I honestly want to get to know people, which is a perspective thing, don't start conversations because you want to sell stuff to them.
No.
Start conversations because you want to get to know people.
You're curious about them.
Yes, because it's a sense of service, which is not just ethical.
Yeah.
It's dignifying them as people.
Yeah. So after doing connection, we go into the second phase. And second phase is uncover their needs. Yeah. That is where you start asking them questions. Are you this avatar? Figure out, are they your avatar?
Yes.
So you're connected to what they connected with. So we're opening up to start understanding their needs. When we understand their needs, we want to know what's their problem or what is their focus right now. We want to understand what does it look like. So we start digging down a bit. I'll give you an example. So I saw you commented on this post about getting leads. Is lead generation something you're focusing on right now? Yes, it is. Okay. How many leads are you currently getting on a daily basis right now? I start understanding what they want. And then I would go to the third phase. Now I'm opening up, I get to understand, I'm getting clarity. Is this a person who's the right person for me, a great fit for what I do, and I believe I can help them? I go to the third phase. The third phase is serve. I don't want to move too fast to get, so third phase is serve. Say, okay, great. You know what? I actually got a podcast episode about that. Would you want me to send it to you? Yeah. So I offer them something very easy to say yes to. Yes, that would be nice. Hey, I actually made a document for you to know how to do DMing the right way and get more book calls. Let me know if you want me to send it to you. It's absolutely for free. They would like 100 out of 100 times. They say, yes, please. Yes. So what you're doing is you're training them to want things from you. By asking them, so very important here, I'm not just dropping stuff into the DM, say, hey, get my thing, see my thing. I'm training them to want to get stuff from me. And it's very important here, crucial. Do not just stuff in things because you want them to see your thing. Ask them first. Yeah. Hey, would you like to get my thing? I'm not pushing you to see it, but let me know. I got that thing. If you want it, let me see it. So serve them a couple of times. See, this is about them starting to see more of your brand. Yeah. So you serve more, give them some serving so they see more of your brand right now in a compressed time period. Send them 2-3 good things that is pure value, great for them.
And the greatest part of this is that the moment you have several of these conversations, you're going to realize the similarity between the different problems. Yeah. And you can start to develop resources consciously to help solve these problems. Yeah. Before you are at the place where you have a bank of like, I have a library of free resources that I can send. It's super easy to say, if they're saying that I'm having this problem with how to build a great relationship with my kids or whatever. If they're expressing to you, I have this problem, then what you can ask them is, hey, I have a 5-minute audio recording that helps people deal with that kind of situation. Would you like me to send that? Yeah. And then they're going to say, yeah, sure. Yeah. Then you can record a 5-minute audio conversation of where you're going through, how to deal with that kind of situation, so that you can send it to them.
And then you have it for next time. Someone has kind of the same. You build up a library of resources. So after we giving away resources, shared resources, what's the next step?
So the next part of the conversation is about opening a gap. Because we've figured out a little bit of where they are right now. Yeah. Now it's time to figure out where they want to go, where they want to end up. There are so many different easy ways to figure that out. The easiest way is to ask them, what is your specific goal that you want to reach in 90 days? Yeah. Or what is your specific goal that you want to reach in 6 months? So what would you like to feel about this thing in 12 months from now? Yeah. Because then we're starting to open a gap that differentiates where they are to where they would like to be.
And it's always better to look for a shorter period of time because people are more eager to move towards something that is right in front of them rather than long time into the future.
Absolutely. And we're still discovering all of their needs and behaviors. So it depends a little bit on your niche. But just as you say, of course, we want to figure out a short-term milestone on a long path that they're going to excel within the area.
Exactly. So we ask those questions.
And then we go to the next step. And the next step is to qualify. So qualify can be done in a few different ways. The easiest way to figure out if someone is qualified is if this is a now kind of problem for you. So is this something that you would like to solve now, or is it more kind of a later thing that you might solve sometime? If you've done the conversation correctly and if you're on topic with the right person, they're always going to say, no, it's not a now thing. It's a yesterday thing. I want it solved fast because the conversation is relevant to them. What we're talking about is on point. There are more questions that you can ask, but I think that is generally the best one. Another question that you can ask, especially if they've told you something specific, then you could ask and qualify them by asking, on a scale from 1 to 10, how important is that specific thing for you?
And now again, depending on who you are, how many sales calls you want to have and how qualified you want them to have, you can even ask them, so let me know, if I were to help you with that, are you open to invest in yourself to get that result? And then we get to the last step.
Which is the invite.
The invite.
And the invite is usually a sales call. So in the simplest of funnel, it's a sales call. In other circumstances where you're a little bit further ahead, it could be an event invite. It could be an invite to a client call that you're already going to have where you're allowing
whatever
people
you want to offer. But in 90% of the times, it's probably going to be a sales call. So now is your time to offer because now you know the problem. They're aware of that. They're aware of what they want. They see the gap. And now we can ask them, so would it be valuable for you if we jump on a call and we have put down a plan for you to reach that?
And here's the game. The moment you start counting how many offers you are giving, then is when your business is going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
And you can offer in the beginning. We've already covered that. So you need to go through all the different phases.
Yeah.
And if you want more details, go again below, download it so that you can get the full training. If you give X amount of offers, you'll make Y amount of money.
Yeah.
And that's how easy it is. And you're doing it coming from not violating your own identity or your values or who you are. And you're treating people as human beings. You're getting a lot of friends. But more importantly, you're starting to understand your avatar and you build your business effectively.
Yeah.
So it's about being able to have the right conversation and doing
Can
it
we
the
put
right
in
way.
3 keys to think about?
Yes.
Three rules.
Key number 1.
Key number 1, remember it's a dialogue, it's not a monologue. If you have that in your mind, remember, it's not about you moving on. If you're not getting response, you need to stop up and figure out how to get a response first.
Yep.
Get a response, otherwise it's a monologue. Monologues do not lead to anywhere. So you need to have a dialogue. Key number 2 is you need to feel the temperature in the room. If a person is hot, you move faster. If a person is cold, you move slower, you slow down.
How do you recognize that by the quality of their answer?
Yeah.
If they're actually contributing to the conversation and actively engaged with the topic of the conversation. And here's an important part. You cannot say that the person is not interested because you deem them a little bit colder, because they might be a little bit more reserved than others.
Yeah.
So you can say that this person isn't interested because they are not developing the conversation with me. Well, that's a personality trait, meaning you're just not as fastly moving forward if they are a little bit restrictive. Then you're matching their tempo.
And the 3rd key, track what you're doing. Make sure you're always tracking. If we want to build a business seriously, then track what you're doing. If you want access to our tracking systems, our complete chat sequences, our AI chatting tool for you and everything, schedule a demo with us to get that. But you need to track. You need to know how you work with this professionally. So we have the complete DMing set up for our clients. If you want a demo of that, just schedule a call. You find a link down below.
The most important thing to track at the end of the day is how many offers you're giving.
Yes.
Because you're not going to be able to give offers if you're not facilitating the conversations correctly. But if you're facilitating the conversations correctly, you're going to be able to give offers. The more offers you give, the more money you'll make, the more clients you help, the more difference you'll make.
On a later episode, we are going to then give away how can you do this with AI? How can you do this with team? So you don't need to be the person who's doing it, because I believe, yes, This is how you do it. Do you need to be the person doing it all the time? No, you don't, but you need to understand it because you can't give it away to either AI or to someone else if you don't know how to do it. And don't, by any means, don't hire these people who are in your DMs, the first one pitching that they can DM you leads and get calls. 10 out of 10 times, you're going to get unqualified leads. Learn this skill yourself and then you hire someone who's working on your terms.
Yes, the easy bottom line is you can't give away what you don't have.
No.
So if you don't have
it.
the skill set, build the skill set.
If you like this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe.
And send it to a friend if you like. And we'll see you in another episode
Yes.
next Wednesday.